What's up, guys? Time for the weekly update as far as how the search and everything is going. My journey to becoming a professional software developer. I just updated my GitHub. I added 3 projects. First was a sudoku backtracking algorithm that I learned from TechWithTim, YouTube channel, really good. His channel's been blowing up lately, probably because the content's great. I mean, it's some of the best out there. The second one was a machine learning project where we basically used the Boston housing market. It was a Boston housing market valuation tool, but we used the training data was from 1970s, and we basically factored in, I think it was 6, 7 different criteria that determined house's property value. Factor that into the model, used it as training data, and then used it to predict, along with inflation, used it to predict future housing prices based on that same criteria. So the third one, I learned that through a Udemy course, Machine Learning with Python. It was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I also want to add image classifier. Basically, taking an image classifier, say there was healthy food versus unhealthy food, and making it, basically, if you were to take a bunch of before and after pictures, since I'm in the fitness industry, like personal trainers post their before and after pictures of clients, and basically factoring in that picture with the corresponding body fat percentage and using that as training data so that someone could just go into the mirror, take a selfie, and basically the image classifier software would basically return their body fat percentage. I think that would be really cool. It's a lot more accurate than a BMI, which is what a lot of people use. The Army used it up until like last year as an indicator of whether someone was overweight or not overweight, which is not accurate at all. I had friends back in college that were playing baseball, and because they were strong, had so much muscle, and they were a little bit on the shorter side, 5'8", 5'10", they were considered obese, and they definitely weren't obese. I mean, so I think this would be a lot more accurate than a lot of different body composition tests that are out there. It's probably in line with like a handheld BIA. It would be. So that's pretty cool. But I'm going to eventually do that and add that to the GitHub, so stay tuned for that. The third project I added to build my portfolio was an Amazon price tracker. I learned that on YouTube as well. I tagged the YouTuber in this. I forgot his name. That was pretty cool. The only thing is that it's a web scraping project. You'll learn about that and automate the boring stuff with Python. But the only thing is Amazon's so good at detecting bots that it currently doesn't work, because Amazon detected that this was a web scraping software, and I basically did HTML parsing. They're a massive company. They definitely have the tools and the resources, I guess cybersecurity. Not that I was doing anything damaging to their company, but I guess they don't want people tracking the pricing fluctuation of their projects or their products. So yeah, that doesn't work anymore, but it was pretty cool to create that. Update on me becoming a software developer. I actually today is Sunday. I sent off my application and my resume to the company, and waiting to find out. Hopefully within this next week, Monday through Friday, I'll be able to find out. But as of right now, my main focus, I'm still doing project-based learning, but I'm doing a lot of practice problems. I'm doing a lot of coding challenges and whatnot, because my focus is, I'm competitive, and I know that I can use that and capitalize on my competitive nature to get really good really fast, like to speed up that learning curve, because it's a lot of fun to have these challenges and try to sit back and try to work it out in your mind and then put it into code. So some of the websites that I've been using are LeetCode, HackerRank, Code Wars. Top Coder I'm not really using that. That's a little different. I think there's like paid challenges, but you have to be really good to start doing stuff like that. But I ran into a roadblock there. The main thing is that you have to be really good at syntax. You have to write like pristine code to do these problems. And if not, you're gonna have to click give me the solution every time. And that kind of feels the main purpose of doing these challenges, which is to kind of work it out in your mind. So I needed to basically take a step back and find the bridge between like the tutorials that I've been doing and becoming a completely independent software developer. Of course, people still use Stack Overflow, but I found a really good website, and I'll attach it below. I'll walk it through right here. It's called edibit.com, and it's a great bridge that basically you can go very easy or easy problems. You can go all the way to expert, but these very easy products help you like hone in your skills on syntax. So take a look at this, and I think you'll definitely see a lot of value in it. All right, guys. So this is edibit.com. It could be like eatabyte.com. I'm not sure the actual name of it. I've done a few challenges here. I started off doing like, everything I've found from YouTube, like Leak Code, Hacker Rank, Code Wars, but I was having to find a solution like almost every time. So basically, I was like, okay, what will help me master the syntax and the fundamentals first so that I can then go to the more advanced, like, brain teasers and whatnot that required, multiple lines of code. And this was the best resource that I at least found. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but this one's really good. You can select your language, of course, and then your level. So if you're just trying to master the syntax like I am, very easy is definitely where you want to start out with some definitely fundamental ones like write a function that returns like the sum of two numbers or subtract two numbers. But then, you get into stuff like this. I haven't done this one yet, so bear with me here. Write a function that takes an integer, returns, yeah, you have resources. You can unlock the solution, but of course you want to try to do it. I'm guessing this is just going to be m times 60. Oops. Okay, so okay, there we go. Turn minutes. 60. There we go. And then I'll submit it here. Nice. So then you can select, whether it's very easy, and that kind of helps moderate, the user-generated content. Yeah, and I would definitely just click next challenge. I don't think I'm intermediate or advanced by any means. Next challenge. And you progress to that. So I'm not going to do this challenge, but basically this is definitely a good place for you to start before. It's like a good bridge from following tutorials and everything like that to basically the coding challenges that really make you a programmer, in my opinion. But you definitely don't want to be clicking like give me the solution every time. So this is a good bridge from tutorials to becoming a real programmer, independent programmer, I should say. So check it out, guys. So it's a common consensus that project-based learning seems to be hands down the best way to learn because you get to see the end product. It's not like you do, I don't know, how you learn maybe in a book. I mean, that's good, but when you get to see the finished product, it gives you that rush of dopamine, and that's how you learn, and gives you kind of fuel to compound and go to the next challenge and knock out bigger dominoes each time. So I definitely say like start off with the simplest like hello world tutorials, but really focus on something you want to create and start piecing it together. Every time you do a tutorial or you watch a lecture or a lesson, try to have some kind of passion project that you're trying to correlate those lessons to, because it'll really cement it in your mind. It seems to be the best way to learn. It also helps you not fall into the trap of just mindlessly following a tutorial. It's really easy just to say like, all right, I'm going to do word for word or code for code exactly what this instructor's doing. It's very easy to fall into that. But unless you're analyzing it and starting to get into the frame of mind of an actual software developer, you're not really making progress. You're just mirroring. So really start to focus on the mental side of things, where you have to break down these problems and then put it into code. Another great resource, if Python is a little tough for you, they say Python's a great language to learn. They don't say it's the easiest. It's not. HTML is definitely on the easier side, and there's a really great website / app called Mimo, just called Mimo. It might be a website too, desktop version, but this app is really good. It walks you through HTML basics, HTML intermediate, and then it goes into CSS, which I've never done before, haven't gotten there yet. But Mimo is definitely helping me out with syntax, like I said. That's my main focus. I don't really need to learn HTML right now. It's good to add on to my portfolio. but the main focus is just getting used to writing code the right way to where it speaks to the program or the computer correctly. And it's really simple. HTML is like, everything's so straightforward and structured because we've all used websites before. So you have a good mental map of how a website should look. And now you get to see how it looks when you create it, which, you know, you have the headers and the body text and whatnot, and how to put an emphasis or make it strong. I really have found a lot of value in Mimo, so check that one out too. Remember, I'm not a paid influencer at all. I'm just giving you stuff that has helped me the most. So, all right, guys. So here is Mimo. The app is pretty cool looking. When you start off, HTML Basics starts you with the two fundamentals of it, which basically talks about how to start and end a web page, which is HTML and then, you know, a backslash HTML. Then they talk about the headers and the body, the paragraph, you know, different sizing of headers, like all the absolute basics of a website page. So I found it really easy to get a mental map of how to write certain codes because we've all used websites before. So we definitely know what it's supposed to look like. So, you know, they show you the finished project or the finished product after you finish writing specific lines of code. And I really enjoyed that, even images and whatnot. So you also, as you progress, you build your own kind of website too. So definitely check that out. It was of a lot of value to me. Remember, I'm not a paid influencer at all. I'm just giving you stuff that has helped me the most. So just to wrap it all up before I go, coding challenges are definitely good. But if you really want to get into the mind of a programmer and write things the right way without finding a solution, make sure you narrow down your syntax or hone in your syntax skills. Honestly, things are going great so far. I'm starting to feel things click. I'm really excited about the immediate future. So I'm going to keep using these resources and eventually get back to like Leak Code and Code Wars and all that, because that's where you really start to become an independent software developer. So yeah, can't wait, guys. Talk to you next time.